Switchbot curtains have been my favorite smart home tech that I've owned over the past few years, and they're getting even better this year with the Switchbot Curtain 3. There's something magical about just waking up and having your curtains open automatically, and it's a nice touch that feels like something luxurious that you'd normally pay thousands of dollars for. So it's essentially this compact motor that connects to your curtain in a couple of different ways, from a rod to a U-rail or an I-rail depending on the rod type that you have. And then the wheel spins as it glides to pull or push your curtains along the track. Now some of you watching are going to think, who needs this? What's so hard about just opening your curtains? And I will admit, they're not really a necessity, but it's really nice to have them open without needing to get up, or take advantage of the smart actions like operating on a schedule, or even based on when it gets light or dark out. I'll get more into the smart actions a little later in the video, but I do have this automation where I say good morning, and then my curtains open, my coffee maker turns on, and my TV turns on to the news, and again, it's all automated. Not necessary, but really, really nice. It's always fun to look back and see how far companies have come from the first generation to where we are now, and then there's some massive improvements along the way that, in my opinion, blow the others completely out of the water. The first one was a much bulkier option. This one was obviously the rod model. It had this clamp that was manually adjustable, and it was difficult to tighten to the rod, which made installing really hard. Similar concept with the spinning wheel, but not as fast, not great at pulling heavier curtains, and it was really loud, something I'll touch on a little bit later. The second one was the Curtain 2. Modified, slimmer design, better tension on the rod. It was honestly better. It was also faster, but it was still really loud. So now we get to the third. Massively better design, much more powerful, and a huge point, better calibration with a tighter closed curtain than any of the others that I've used. That is so satisfying. Also, probably the most important thing, the much improved sound of the curtains that Switchbot said reaches around 45 decibels at 1 meter away, or they have this quiet drift option that moves at quite literally a snail's pace, but it's so much quieter. To give you guys a comparison, here's the sound of each curtain. It's amazing at this point that you can barely hear the performance mode, and when I tested the quiet mode, I actually couldn't hear it every morning when I was waking up. So if you don't mind how slow it opens, it's actually an amazing option. Here's a comparison of the speed of each version of the curtains. I wanted to show you guys how easy the setup is of these Switchbot curtains. So, in my bedroom, I'm pairing two together so it can open in the middle. You can simply add the two arms to the rod and then they snap to the motor really easy. From there, head over to the Switchbot app and you can run through a quick calibration, and that's it. Now it's set up seconds later. There's also a solar panel that's improved this year with a nice form that can attach to the Switchbot curtain and then hang down so it always remains charged. They said it comes with a 3350 milliamp battery that lasts up to 8 months. Obviously that's going to depend on the weight of your curtains, how often you're closing them. But what's better than charging every 8 months? Never, thanks to the Switchbot solar panels. So once it's set up, this is where you start to realize how handy these things actually are. They're Bluetooth, so when you're nearby you can control them. But if you have a Switchbot hub, the curtains can automatically connect to your network so that you can control them remotely, even when you're not home. The hub also lets you connect to your smart assistant, whether that's Google, Alexa, if this then that, Siri shortcuts, or if you have the hub too, you get HomeKit native integration and Matter support. So you can control it through the Apple Home app or any of your Apple products, including your Apple Watch. In the Switchbot app, you have a lot of really handy settings like the ability to sync the paired curtains so that you can control both together or each one separately, which is a nice peace of mind. The solar panels obviously won't charge when fully open because they aren't getting any light. So you can set an auto charge schedule to charge when you know the sun will be out so that they can get their charge and then return to the original position. The hub also includes an IR blaster, which can learn your remote so it can transform your phone into a remote for things like your TV, soundbar, or really anything that uses an IR remote. I have another automation using my nanoleaf lights where I can tap the wall panel and then it automatically turns on my lights, shuts the curtains, and it's all done through a HomeKit automation. So all in all, the Switchbot curtains are a huge improvement from last year's model. Like I said, they're my favorite smart home tech that I own, and it's been the same for years, and they keep getting better year over year. If you want to pick these up, I'll leave a link in the description. Of course, if you have questions about it, leave them down in the comments and I'll be sure to get to them. But overall, these are the best smart curtains that are out there.